They called it the industry of dreams. But behind the flashing lights and red carpets lies a nightmare that too many knew about and too few dared to speak of. For years, powerful names whispered secrets in private while victims were silenced, paid off, or pushed aside. Harvey Weinstein was just the tip of the iceberg, and now the shadows are creeping closer to names like Diddy and even Blake Lively. This isn't just about scandal, it's about a system, a culture of silence, and the question no one wants to answer. How many careers were protected while lives were destroyed? Welcome to Just with Sherry. This is the episode Hollywood doesn't want you to hear. Let's be honest, Hollywood has always had its favorites. And when it comes to Blake Lively, she's long been painted as the polished, untouchable sweetheart of the industry. But recent legal tensions with It Ends With Us co-star and producer Justin Baldoni suggest a more complicated story, one the public isn't being told in full. So why isn't Blake being dragged the same way others have? Because Hollywood protects its darlings. Blake is part of a powerful Hollywood couple, married to Ryan Reynolds, beloved by brands and studios alike. Together, they are a media powerhouse. That kind of influence buys silence, it buys time, it buys cover. When the allegations and countersuits emerged, the industry didn't rush to investigate or hold her accountable. Instead, it looked the other way, downplayed the headlines, and let her quietly drop her most explosive claims while still maintaining her public image. That's the same playbook we have seen for years. Paint the accused as emotional or misunderstood. Let the PR machine spin a softer narrative. Delay until the public loses interest. Let's call it what it is: selective accountability. Blake and Ryan benefit from an industry that wraps its arms around the people it likes, especially when they're part of the money-making machine. It's not about guilt or innocence alone. It's about who the system deems too valuable to fail. And in Hollywood, that protection has a long, ugly history. From Harvey Weinstein's enablers to the silence around Diddy and now potentially Blake Lively. The question we must ask is, how many people were harmed while Hollywood protected its golden ones? What baffles me the most about the cases that are currently ongoing and the ones that have been ongoing for a while, the silence of Hollywood is just deafening. It took a powerful lawyer like Brian Freeman, Justin Baldoni's lawyer, going to every major network with evidence, with receipts, to even get the conversation going about what's really going on in this case with Blake Lively. It took us, members of the digital media, looking at the receipts that were provided by Justin's team, looking at the claims that were made by Blake Lively and saying, something isn't adding up here. Someone is lying and lying big time. And let me tell you something. I read through most of those documents. It is obvious, in my opinion, it's very obvious that it's not adding up. It doesn't require a scientist or a genius to figure that out. So are you telling me that Sony, who was a big part of this Ends With Us movie, couldn't take the time to actually investigate most of these claims and come to the conclusion that we, the public, have all come to? Are you telling me that actors and producers have worked with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds in the past have never witnessed any of the behavior that has now been shown, allegedly, that happened in this movie and that's happening in the case? Are you really telling me that no one knew? I don't believe it for a second. Of course people knew. Of course, but the pattern is the same. You keep quiet, you get rewarded. You speak out, you get punished. And so bad behavior like this can persist. Now, Sean Diddy Combs is at the center of a firestorm, accused of trafficking, abuse, and worse. But even more disturbing is the number of people who allegedly helped him maintain his image while keeping victims quiet. Former bodyguards, assistants, celebrity allies, and even legal threats allegedly punched Cassie Ventura in the stomach. Ray J, in a documentary, claimed that several celebrities approached him, expressing concerns about their affiliations with Combs and offering money to alleged victims to keep their names out of legal proceedings. How many knew? How many looked away because of who he was, because of the money, the influence, the parties? In 2014, the documentary An Open Secret, directed by Emmy J. Berg, brought to light harrowing accounts of child sexual abuse in Hollywood. The film featured testimonies from former child actors who were preyed upon by industry insiders. Despite its critical acclaim, the documentary struggled to find distributors, highlighting the industry's reluctance to confront its demons. Diddy has allegedly been doing these things that he's now being accused of for years and years and years. We have even been hearing rumors about it. A lot of the witnesses that have given testimonies in this case have spoken about incidents that happened years ago, have spoken about blackmail, threats. How is it that such a person got away with it for so long? He had like the biggest parties in Hollywood back then, right? So you had all the A-list celebrities, all them producers, all of those people attending those parties. And I'm not saying that they all saw something, but I'm saying that I'll be very surprised if no one heard anything at all. So when they heard it, if they allegedly heard it, what did they do about it? They continued to party with him, they continued to work with him, they continued to praise him in public. And then now this case, and all of a sudden, everything is out in the open. I don't even believe he was the only one. I don't believe he did all of these things alone, not for a second. I think there were other people. And I wouldn't be surprised is as time goes by, we get to hear about other people's role in a lot of the things that Diddy allegedly did. So the good thing is, people like me, people like you, other people in this space that we're in, the digital media, we're not part of Hollywood. We're just independent. And so we get to just look at things, give our opinion, and not be bought with silence or what other way that they buy people over there. We just call it as it is. And that's really the essence of this episode. It's talking about the culture of silence and blackmail that has obviously been ongoing in Hollywood, and how these cases that are going on now are really, I would say, a turning point in that, because it's showing how even though the Hollywood machine allegedly tried to keep everything quiet, and tried to protect its stars and its golden ones. We didn't fall for it. Not this time around. We didn't. We now know better. And we are able to say, we're going to believe what we're seeing with our own eyes. We're going to believe all of these testimonies given by so many witnesses. We're going to believe the facts of the case. We're not going to fall for your PR spin. Fast forward to 2017, when investigative reports by the New York Times and the New Yorker exposed decades of sexual misconduct by producer Harvey Weinstein. The revelations ignited the Me Too movement, empowering countless individuals to share their stories. But the question remains, why did it take so long? The entertainment industry, much like other powerful institutions, often protects its own. Non-disclosure agreements, fear of retaliation, and the allure of success kept many silent. As screenwriter Scott Rosenberg candidly admitted, everybody effing knew. The complicity wasn't just in the acts, but in the silence that followed. Whether it's Blake Lively or Diddy, it's not about guilt or innocence alone. It's about how Hollywood decides who is worth protecting and who gets fed to the wolves. If we keep consuming the content without questioning the creators, we become part of the problem. If we let image outweigh integrity, then what message are we sending? This episode isn't about dragging names for views. It's about truth, about dismantling a culture that allowed too many to suffer in silence for far too long. Who else is being protected? And at what cost? So, guys, as usual, thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate. Please go to the comment section. Tell me what you think. Share, like, and subscribe. And see you next time.